Good morning, children. Welcome to our English class. Today we are going to look into the second Roman number of vocabulary part. You remember in the last class we finished the first Roman number, which is the antonyms from our textbook. So we already learned about them, and I also wrote them on the board. So today we are going to look into the second one. I will read through along and also write the blanks so that you can write them in your textbooks and also your notebooks. Okay, children? So now let's see here. Okay. Read the following sentences and notice how the word wave has been used differently. Firstly, what is the meaning of wave? We know waves, right? Like in the sea and ocean we see waves. So here this word has been used differently. So we have to see how different they have been used. My sister Amla and I too waved. So D is added here to the word wave. Our hands while mom and dad smiled at us. Silky sands, foaming waves and cool breeze of the sea attracted us very much. Now if you see here, for wave S is added here. So D is added here and S is added here. Now if we look at the first sentence here, my sister Amala and I too waved. This waved means saying bye with the hand, right? We wave our hand to say goodbye or bye bye and all. And the second sentence, if you see, silky sands, foaming waves and cool breeze of the sea. So here the foaming waves means the waves of the sea and ocean. That is what it means. In the next, if you see here in sentence 1, wave is used as a verb in the past tense, and in sentence 2 it is used as the noun in its plural form. So wave is a noun, and if we add s to it, it becomes waves, which is the plural form of the wave. As a verb, it means to move hand. As a verb, here it is a verb. Verbs means action words. We all know them, right? So as a verb, here in this context, waved means it is an action, waving your hand. It means to move hand or arm from side to side, and as a noun, it refers to raised lines of water that moves across the surface of the sea or ocean. Okay, so here it makes quite a good sense, right? Here waved is an action, which means we are waving the hand, and here it is a noun because it is a thing. We see waves in the sea and the ocean. Now let's fill in the blanks with appropriate forms of the words given in the brackets. They can be used both as nouns and verbs. Now, the first one. The volleyball team of our school dash 4 matches. The fourth day dash was excellent. So let's see. We have to use the word play as in verb and as well as a noun. So here the volleyball team of our school played 4 matches, which means they already played those 4 matches. The fourth day play was excellent. So here it is a verb. Okay, next one. Lata is dash a lot of problems. Lata faced already, because Lata is, it can be facing with ing form also. We can write facing a lot of problems. Lata, because there is here, which is the present tense form, and here we can use the word facing instead of faced. I am sorry to see her tears as her lovely. I am sorry to see tears on her lovely face. Here it is face, which is a noun again, and here it is faced. Lata faced a lot of problems. You can either use facing because is in the present tense form. Okay, we can either use it in present continuous form or we can use simple past tense. When we use simple past tense, there is no need for ISAs. Okay, children? So next, my granddaughter said, Grandpa, you look very sweet when I see a dash on your face. So my granddaughter said, Grandpa, you look very sweet when I see a smile on your face. On hearing this, Grandpa smiled at once. So this girl said that that her grandpa looks very sweet when he smiles. So that is what he said. So immediately listening to that, her grandpa smiled at once. Okay, next one. Suresh dashed that he would pass the examination. So hope, the word given here is hope. Now Suresh hoped that he would pass the examination, but his hope disappeared. What happened? His hope disappeared when he saw the question paper. So he thought he would pass, and then after looking at the question paper, his hope got disappeared. Now, what was his hope? That he would pass. So because the question paper is so tough that he couldn't pass. Now, when I answered a question correctly, the English teacher dashed me on my back. When I answered a question correctly, the English teacher dashed me on my back. So what was the word that is given here? Pat. Patting means tapping on the shoulders or on the back, saying you did a good job, right? So when I answered a question correctly, the English teacher patted me on my back and said, well done, smarty. And what did the teacher say? Well done, smarty. Now, her pat, the way she patted, her pat made me feel very happy and proud. Okay, children? Next, let's see. So I hope you understood how certain words, this we also went through in our second or third units, where I explained about how words change into verbs and certain words are converted into nouns and how are they used in certain different contexts. Now we'll go into the third Roman number of grammar. Oh no. So we'll be looking into the third Roman number, which says about phrasal verbs. I already explained to you what are phrasal verbs and we have gone through in detail. So there are a few phrasal verbs here. Let's see that too. The ship set out after sounding a loud horn. So what happened? The ship set out. So here we are looking at the word set out. When we are looking at them differently, only set means settling down or putting down. And if we close this set and if we look at out means outside. So when we put them together and we read them together, it gives a different meaning. Those are called phrasal verbs. Set out means started to sail on. Here the ship set out after sounding a loud horn, which means after sounding the loud horn, the ship started to move. Next one. People who came to see off their friends and relatives cheered them up by waving their hands. Now, people who came to see off. When we read them separately, like see, which means looking. Off means having a day off or putting it off or something. Now, when we read them together, see off, then it means people who came to see off means saying goodbye. See off means saying goodbye to others. So when we put them together or when we read these phrasal verbs together, then it means goodbye. So people who came to see off their friends and relatives cheered them up by waving their hands. So cheered them up, cheered up. So that is another phrasal verb here. Cheered them up means you can, what is the word meaning of cheering? Cheering means shouting in happiness. Up means in the top. But when we put them together, it gives a different meaning, right? Cheer them up means encourage them, or just saying, waving goodbye to their friends when they are leaving the port. Now, so there are quite a few phrasal verbs. The set of words underlined are phrasal verbs. So here we have seen certain phrasal verbs. Pick out from a dictionary more phrasal verbs beginning with the word set. So in our last class or the class before, we also had a different word. I can't remember which word it is, but you have to find out some phrasal verbs. I think with look, we have to find some phrasal verbs. Now open your dictionaries and start looking for phrasal verbs that start with SET set. Okay, start with SET set and find out their meanings. Set off, set on. So there will be several phrasal verbs with the which starts with set, and find out their meanings and use them in your own sentences. So once you find out their meaning, you can write them in your own sentences. Okay, see, when we are talking about look after means taking care of somebody. The meaning of look after is taking care of somebody. So in certain cases you have to use the same phrasal verbs in different contexts. Okay, so that is it with the phrasal verbs here. You see, here we have see off, set out. So you find out with set off, set on, set out. So there will be different kinds of phrasal verbs with the word set. Try to find them. Okay, children. So we can still go through grammar part. Okay, we'll start grammar as well, which is simple past tense. Okay, read the following lines taken from the lesson. So just read these lines and then we'll see what it means. And here it is talking about simple past tense. So you have to understand what is simple past tense. Simple past, which means we are talking about an action that has happened. It could be just happened action, or action that happens every day but it just happens. So let's see what simple past is. We have a structure which says subject plus subject plus V2 form of the verb plus object. This I will teach you on the board so that it will be much more in detail for you children, because when I teach tenses then it will be quite understanding. But for now, let's see this exercise in the grammar part, and then in the next class I will give you a detailed description of tenses. Okay children, so now let's read through. First of all, read the following lines taken from the lesson. So all these lines are taken from the lesson that we already have gone through. Soon after the examinations were over, Mom made preparations for the trip. So this is the first sentence, right, from the lesson, a trip to Andaman, right? So here, listen carefully. Soon after the examinations were over, Mom made preparations for the trip. On the 25th of April, we took the Pinakini Express from Vijayawada and reached Chennai at 1 p.m. So what do you notice within the underlined words here? They are denoting a past action, the action that has been already completed. The underlined words are verbs in the simple past tense and refer to actions that took place in the past. So here if you see, were over means were already completed. Made means she already prepared. Make, made, right? So the simple past tense is used here to talk of completed actions in the past. So here we have a few examples that are taken from the same lesson, or from a certain passage. There is a small passage that is given here, so we can see what they talk about. I mean, there are certain situations in this passage that talk about completed actions. Now let's see here. Given below is the action plan prepared by the headmaster of Mahatma Gandhi Jilla Parishad High School. So given below is the action plan, which means see, when there is going to be a meeting and there are several guests coming from outside, we always have an action plan, how the meeting should be held, what time we have to start the meeting, and by which time we should invite the guests, by which time the guests will arrive, and by which time this one of the speech should be completed. So at what time should we address them, and what time we should finish the breakfast schedule. So we have planning. Action plan means nothing but a plan that we have to implement tomorrow. For example, in our school we always have these August 15th Independence Day celebrations, Republic Day celebrations and all, and we have lot of some guests from outside. We also have guests, our committee members coming, like our president sir and secretary sir, who comes to our one of those occasions, and we always have a planning. No, by 9 o'clock the presidents, the committee presidents and the secretary will arrive, and by 9:30 we should hoist the flag. So we have a scheduled planning of what we have to do and what we at what time we should finish, and so things, right? So that is called an action plan. So given below is the action plan prepared by the headmaster of Mahatma Gandhi Jilla Parishad High School. So this action plan is given by a headmaster of so and so school, Doskailpalli, for our tour to Nagarjun Sagar project. So the school children are going on a tour to Nagarjun Sagar project. So they had a action plan. They finished the tour on 15/10/2011. So they went and they finished the tour, and the tour is completed. Describe the tour in the past tense by making appropriate changes in the verbs given in the action plan. Now here he says there was an action plan, but they already finished it. This was the plan before they went to Nagarjun Sagar project. Now this is finished. They already finished it. So we have to make some changes in these. Okay. This topic we are going to continue into our next class also, children. So bear with me. And for now we'll finish this exercise, and then in our next class we will start with simple present and also simple past. When I explain to you the simple present, then you will be able to understand the simple past as well. So now here we'll see 6 a.m. This is their plan, how they wanted to do. 6 a.m. board the bus at the school. So this is an action that was supposed to be done. So before going, this was their plan. So they already boarded the bus, no? So we have to write 6 a.m. boarded, B-O-A-R-D-E-D, boarded, which means action is finished. Boarded the bus at school, at the school. 8:30 a.m. stop at Eluru for breakfast. So it was finished, no? They already went to Nagarjun Sagar project. So they already finished this action. So we should say stopped at 8:30 a.m. They stopped at Eluru for breakfast. Okay. Now 12 noon reach the spot. By 12 noon they should be at the spot. So we should say reached the spot. Next, 1 p.m. take lunch. So they already took lunch. They already finished that action. So take, took, taken. No? So we should use the V2 form of the verb. In order to learn tenses, you should know the verb forms as well, children. So in our next class, we'll look into verb forms, and then we will also look into simple past and simple present. Now 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. visit the Nagarjuna Sagar project. So they already visited. So we have to write visited the Nagarjuna Sagar project. 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. visit the museum. This is also a completed action because when did they go? 15/10/2011. So they already visited. So we have to write visited the museum. 4:40 p.m. visit Ethipothala Falls. So this also they visited. They already finished that action. They completed the action. So visited the Ethipothala Falls. Next, 5 p.m. board the bus. So they already completed it. So we say boarded the bus. You should write them neatly in your notebooks, children. 8:30 p.m. take supper at Eluru. So while returning, so they already ate, no? So we should say took supper. Took supper at Eluru. At 10:30 p.m. reach the school. 10:30 p.m. they have to be back in the school. So reached the school. So what did you notice here, children? What did you notice here? All these are in simple present tense. These are actions that are not completed or that should be done. Okay? Either in future, simple future or simple present tense. But because this action is completed, they already went and they visited all these places and they came back. This is a completed action. We are trying to write it in simple past. So here all you need to know is the verb forms. The V1, V2 and V3 forms of the verbs. And now here board will become boarded. Board means getting into the bus. Stop, stopped. Reach, reached. Take, took. Visit, visited. Visit, visited. Visit, visited. Board, boarded. Take, took. Reach, reached. So in any circumstances, when we are talking about a completed action, then all you have to do is we have to use the past form of those verbs, past tense. Okay, so I hope this is clear according to the exercise, but in our next class we'll look into verb forms and also the tenses. Okay, children, and we can continue with the others like this. Also, I think there is something else given here. Let's see. You can start like this. On 15/10/2011, the students of MGZPH School, Doskalpalli, started their tour to Nagarjuna Sir. So you have to put them in sentences, okay? You have to write them in sentences. So you can take this information, write them in the sentence. All you have to do is change these words into the past form. Just write this passage in the past form using this timeline. Okay, children, because this is already completed. So that would do for today, and we have past continuous tense as well. So it will be nice if we can carry on with the tenses in our next class, and then we'll go further, children. So that is it for today. I hope it is understandable. We have learned about using ed and when the words are converted into, when they are used as nouns, and when ed or d is added, it changes into a verb. And here